we're joined now by Mr. Emmanuel Ayegbonam, who is a legal practitioner. We are discussing right now the cases that are going to be at the election, or that are already at the Election Petitions Tribunal. You heard one of our guests in the earlier segment saying we have close to 700, if not more, cases in the Election Petition Tribunals. And one will wonder, what will it do to the judicial system? Is it going to bog it down? Is it going to raise up new questions or new proceedings? Well, Mr. Ayegbonam, you're here. What do you make of what you see in the cases going to the Election Petition Tribunal? Are you optimistic that the judiciary can handle this in very good time?
Well, the judiciary is already overwhelmed, let me say it, without sounding modest. If you take a look at the ordinary court list in a day, it runs, especially within Lagos, Abuja, and some of the main litigation city centers, it runs not less than 23 or even 22 for a day. Now the same judges are now overwhelmed and burdened with these tribunal issues. He says it's the same court, the same judge actually that he sees as a election tribunal doesn't mean that he has changed. The court is human, and it is time we critically take a look at what we have on ground, especially over time and fairness and justice in our justice delivery system. I have always, and I'm still an unrepentant advocate of establishing as soon as possible special constitutional courts in Nigeria to be able to take constitutional cases and these election tribunal issues to ease the court, the regular courts of this burden. We have repeatedly said it, and then it drags on.
Sorry, let me get this straight. You're asking for constitutional courts,
specialized constitutional courts,
to handle constitutional matters
and tribunal and election tribunal issues.
And so the judges that will be there will not be from the regular courts.
They will not be from the regular courts. It's come to that, and we must address that. Less than 24 hours ago, I was in a forum where a former House of Representative members recounted his ordeal. He had a pre-election issue in 2015. The judgment, the first judgment of that case was given in January 2018. As at the time, January this year, he got to the Supreme Court. It was at the Supreme Court that the Supreme Court ruled that, well, the alteration, the fourth constitutional alteration, has affected 180 days in your case. So you, by this constitutional intervention, you have lost your case. After he has stayed 4 years in the court. For what? A pre-election issue over primaries in his area. So we have issues of these. It has become so much, and then the number of judges we have to consider that as well. Then the facilities as well. We are all talking of geopolitical spread, but there are some areas like Lagos is Africa's seventh economy, is the third mega city in entire Africa. So you cannot have the same disposition you give to Lagos to any other part of the country. Just like what Abuja is turning into now. If we don't take time, Abuja will go on as take the cue of Lagos and then go end up again as a monumental tragedy. And that is the issue. So we will be able to think and plan strategically. Justice delivery system and administration takes a lot. And we have not considered that. So that is the issue now on ground.
I was going to ask whether we ever saw a situation, or our judiciary ever saw a situation where we will have so many court cases at the tribunal. Do you think we saw such a situation?
It has always been there. After every election, you have these massive petitions. And then you still grapple with it. You have the same mindset to do with what you were doing in the 70s or 80s, without thinking that the population has risen, and then the challenges as well. Like I said, the regular court is now paying dearly for what is happening in the tribunals.
You're suggesting that a constitutional court to handle constitutional matters and election petition tribunals be constituted. It's going to take a while to constitute those courts.
Basically, it has to take, but we have to plan towards that.
What do we do in the meantime?
Well, in the meantime, really, the issue is that there have not been thorough assessment, like how we repeatedly say, of where the volumes are and then what to do administratively to them, then be able gradually to move into this. Now check even the constitutional court. Will you have appeal setting to go to the Supreme Court? So these are the issues to come up to be addressed. And then the number of judges compared with what we are having is still very low. Check what the Supreme Court judgments in 1 month alone, and how many of them do you have? So these are the issues of delays we have considered so very well and then know what to do. I said we shouldn't take holistically the entire country. There are areas we must give special attention based on their tradition of litigation and the others issues. So these are the things we have to do at the moment, and then be able to think futuristically and strategically towards what we have on ground, and then what to do about our legal and continuing legal education. We are having a lot of problems and challenges, which has to do with what? Update and the rest in our entire judicial system.
What would you suggest, would you give any other recommendation, apart from what you've just given, in terms of sorting out or preventing cases from going to court in the very first instance?
Well, there are areas of arbitration of what you call alternative dispute resolution. It is now becoming a global issue. But all the same, your mindset, the culture you have on ground, reflects equally on alternative dispute resolution.
Will it work for judicial, beg your pardon, will it work for election matters?
Well, it may not work for election matters. Even in the ordinary, as you look at Public Complaints Commission and Human Rights Commission, if we are to take a look at what we now have as a Brekete family, you see that these established institutions now have desks in Brekete family, because you are looking only at the courts for justice. Administrative justice system goes through the police and the rest. The Human Rights Commission cannot call the Inspector General of Police, but you hear him listen to the ordinary president in Brekete family. Just like the Commissioner of Police will listen to him and take 3 embelembe. So if we have come to this level of the setting is even start to come and the rest. So the issue is to take a holistic review. And we need international partners to take a holistic review and research of what we have on ground, and then be able to build proactively on it. It has gone beyond mere theories or seminars or workshops. We have a very big issue on ground. The entire administrative system is bogged down by our attitude, more or less by our attitude, than any other thing. And then the population we have on ground, without planning for them, without thinking of them. You are registering additional 100 and something private universities. Nobody bothers that 90% of them will go into social sciences and arts. This also brings the problem of unemployment. And then the quality and caliber of these so-called graduates of today in the challenges of the 21st century. So we have not been able, you think of planning, development, and then you talk of capacity to do that as well, and funding. So these are the collective problems we have on ground. You see in the National Assembly, we may be by next week past the 2019 budget. Then it may take another 1 month for assent to come. So
our problems are many, challenges are many, but I mean, they are Nigerian challenges, and Nigerians will have to find solutions to them.
Nigeria is a part of the world, and the world is also solving its own problem. We have to take our own internal problem the way it is.
We have to thank you for coming on Sunrise today. We're totally out of time, Mr. Abraham. Thank you so much for always answering our call. Well, that's the program this morning. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of it. I'm Maokwe Ogun Yusuf.
Well, thank you very much indeed. Just to correct the impression, power is actually on the concurrent list, not on the exclusive list. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
I am Akine here saying have a wonderful and productive day.